Hey there, plebs. Welcome back to the Respawn Point. Now, this is Respawn Mondays, a weekly video game show. Here, we talk about some of our favorite games while giving you the latest news updates. Join us here on the Respawn Point every week for help getting back into the game. Now, I'm your host, Nick Barry, and with me, I got my co-host, Elias Christensen.
Hey guys.
And we also have a special guest this week, Cooper Lavins. He's going to help us with our ARC discussion this week, because he is a veteran along with Elias in that game, unlike me. Now, this is your 21st time respawning, and this week we're going to talk about the decline in PUBG, an Overwatch event, Kingdom Hearts 3, and then we'll move on to our main discussion this week about the ARC TLC updates and also the newest patch. Now, so to begin, we'll talk about what each of us have been playing. Elias, why don't you start?
So actually, part of the reason we didn't do this show last week is I was sick for like 2 weeks, and it was really bad. I didn't play any video games really during it.
It was that bad.
I was sleeping. I think I tweeted even. I slept like 36 hours straight one day, and then I woke up. I did play like a little something. Like I played like some CS:GO deathmatch or something, and Megan was like, "You need your rest." And it's like, I just woke up from a coma. Like, I can't go back to sleep. That always happens whenever you're sick, if people catch you playing video games.
Right, yeah.
You're a bad boy. But I did end up playing, last couple days, I've been playing some CSGO, trying to get out of Silver, with some success. But nobody in Silver knows how to smoke anything. Like, you throw a smoke to block people's vision.
Oh, yeah.
In Silver, nobody knows anymore. So I'm like linking people videos to go watch while we're playing the match.
Got Cruxel?
Yeah, Cruxel videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I played some CSGO. Me and Cooper played some ARC yesterday. And I'm going to be getting back into Monster Hunter all this coming week. Just
Good.
I gotta catch up to you.
Good. Alright. Yeah, to go along with that, I've only been playing Monster Hunter. I forget how many days it's been. It's probably been 24 days maybe since it came out. I have 152 hours in that game. I just checked before I left
So proud.
to get here. Dude, no, it's awesome. So it'll be 4 weeks this Friday, and so all I need is a solid 8 hours, and I'll be on the mark for 40 hours per week.
Nice.
So yeah, no, it's been solid. Not too. I mean, for those who want to know more about Monster Hunter, I'm in definitely end game now at this point. Definitely farming for a lot of the end game stuff. I don't want to give anything away if you haven't gotten there. But you know, it's still fun. I think if you like the game and have gotten to that point, like it's just more of the same thing, but there's still so much to improve on for yourself. I would say. So it's still fun, and me and Connor still play all the time, and it's awesome. Yeah.
How many different weapons do you use regularly? What's your weapon deal?
Pretty much one.
You stuck to one.
I sometimes switch it up for fun.
Yeah.
But like if I'm going in to win, especially when it's a hard monster, I'm going with my charge blade every time. I'm most comfortable with it now.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah. No, I'm glad I actually picked it up because, like we've talked about previously, like I played the switch axe for most of the story, and I've realized that the charge blade is basically the two of my favorite weapons in one. It's part of the switch axe, but also sword and shield.
Yes.
So it's the sword and shield, but then it also transforms into the axe. And with switch axe, I like the axe mode more than the sword mode, anyways. So now it's just kind of both, and it also has the highest damage move in the game.
Okay.
So it's just it's my favorite, and I've tried to switch. Sometimes I'll go like great sword for fun or hammer, but definitely not as good as those. So.
That's pretty cool.
You were playing bow.
Yeah, I had just switched to bow from dual blades, and I do like it. If you can get good at the combos, you can deal out a decent amount of damage, and it's not necessarily high DPS, but you're constantly hitting the monster. So if you have any sort of stun or effect on your weapon, you're applying it more frequently.
Yeah. So yeah, no, that was it for me. New though, I think Ethan texted me before the show, and it was like, dude, I want to play PUBG again.
He texted me before too, yeah.
So I mentioned it to Connor, and he was okay with it. So we may actually
We'll have a squad after.
we
the
might
game,
actually play a
after
game.
the show. Okay.
Which will be the first time in like a month.
Yeah, it's been a while for me
Yeah.
too.
What about you, Cooper, our special guest? What have you been playing the past week?
A little bit of League. I was on vacation, so I didn't really play that much of anything, but just a little bit of League. I've been playing my Nintendo Switch actually, so I've been playing Zelda, trying to tackle the DLC, which haven't been really hitting very hard. So the travel time was really kind of cool for that.
Right.
So just a little bit of that, a little bit of League.
You said you had restarted it in Master mode, right?
That was a while ago.
Yeah.
I never finished it, so I have to finish it and then do the DLC. So.
And how much more
I
difficult?
actually have a lot
is
of work to do. It's definitely harder. There's a really annoying mechanic, which is I do have a few gripes about the game. I do think it's a really good game, but especially in Master Mode, you notice how there's a lot more difficult enemies, and they added a mechanic where you regen health if you don't hit them within a certain amount of seconds. So that can be really, really frustrating if you're fighting like tankier enemies.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely noticeably harder.
Well,
which is good.
Yeah.
Because things are so much more tanky, like there's so much more silver enemies.
Okay.
At least at the point that I've gotten in, I've encountered a couple gold enemies, which are really tanky. None of them do any less damage; they just get harder to kill.
They
More
just
tanky.
get more health.
Yeah. So but your weapon durability just really gets annoying because you're just breaking things constantly to like take down those tanky enemies. So it really gets annoying. So you have to. I mean, it can seem just irritating, but the game also allows you to avoid combat sometimes. So you can play this game where you pick your battles. Like I'll come back for that treasure later. I don't need it like the second.
Yeah.
And you can just mark your map and go back for it later. But
That's
it definitely Master Mode is like way harder. Yeah, because of the health regen mechanic of the enemies. It's like really OP. Like you have to pelt them, otherwise they're gonna regen their health.
Okay.
And if you don't have the weapons for it, you'll just end up breaking everything and then have nothing. Which is it sounds retarded. Like I don't like things breaking like constantly all the time. But I mean,
it's
like
rewarding.
I said,
It's always fun to play a game. I like playing games at their hardest difficulty, and even if it takes so much more time.
Oh my god! Like, just to let you know how much I agree with you. Like, I don't know if either of you have ever played Beautiful Joe for like the GameCube.
No, we haven't.
Such a fun game, but it gets so insanely hard. Insanely hard. I had to beat it.
The first one?
I had to beat it. Both of them.
Oh, okay.
I did both of them on like I forget what it's even called, like the hard mode.
Wow.
Those games were fun. Anyway,
they looked really fun.
I could get way off topic talking about that.
But so before we move on, what we're gonna do for this episode, we have a really big discussion with Ark. So for you guys, we're gonna talk a little bit about the news first, and then we'll let those who came for Ark be able to enjoy the rest of the show for that. So before we move on to the news, though, we just want to shout out there was an iTunes review. Now, what I learned as I researched this, because we got 3 new reviews.
I was gonna say, I saw 9.
And we can't see what they read. And I found out it's because if they write a review in a different country, you can't see it.
You have to log into the store from a different country. I remember podcasts talking about that before. Yeah.
So we got a new one.
Okay.
It was a 5-star. Awesome. So if you're listening, thank you. Can't read it because what? You'd have to guess what country.
You have to change your iPhone settings to log in from a different country. There's a way. It's how people got Hearthstone. Because they released it in Canada first. People were doing this thing to get Hearthstone like a weekend early or something. So we can look up how to find it. Yeah.
But so regardless, thank you very much. If you want to, if any listeners want to leave us an iTunes review for our podcast, you can do so, and we would appreciate it. But okay, so for the news, we want to talk about a couple things. The number one thing, maybe not number one, but a big thing going on is PUBG is in a decline. I looked over on the Steam charts, and the average players is down 118,000 on average. And in the past 2 weeks, I've noticed that the peak players has only been about 2.2 million.
Wow.
So it hasn't broken. Normally it's around 3 million, 3. So I'm thinking, this is my theory. Those 1 million players that got banned, they don't play anymore. Those are the players that were always playing, the cheaters.
Yeah.
So now that they're banned,
That's
explain.
interesting. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't know.
I think too. What's been really crazy is Dr. Disrespect came back, played PUBG for like a day, and then now he plays Fortnite, which is like, what are you doing? You made fun of Summit for going to Fortnite.
Fortnite's taking over.
Fortnite is taking over.
Yeah.
And
I haven't even tried.
Shroud's playing Fortnite. Like, none of the big streamers are playing PUBG.
No, I think that's a big part where between Shroud and Dr. Disrespect, they only played PUBG. Yeah. I think that got a lot of people watching, playing it.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of not happening.
I think too. We were watching a couple streamers play Fortnite yesterday.
Right, and not PUBG. Interestingly enough.
Yeah, and well, I think the what was I gonna say? Oh, I think that the games tend to be a little bit faster in Fortnite as well.
That's what I think Taylor was saying. He's saying it's even faster, or maybe Jake. He said it was even faster than PUBG. And I'm like, well, PUBG's the same. You die, you just rejoin. But he's like, oh no, like the lobby is like 10 seconds. The
lobby is like 10 seconds, and I think like people are way more. Let's just go. We're not posting up anywhere. Like in PUBG, sometimes a lot of players play hide and go seek.
Well, you can literally build your own base in like 3 seconds.
People just move so fast in that game that there's a lot of more content.
We were watching them, and it's like they see someone like way off in a field over there, and they just start building. And then they're there for a while, and they're like trying to do the strategic like buildings and like shooting each other, and like I don't know. There's like a whole other. There's a whole other levels of the game when you can just set down a base.
I mean, I'm a big Epic fan, so I mean, I probably should try it at least.
I tried it.
I should probably try it just because we talk about video games.
I think the biggest thing I don't like about that game is they've added so many things that just feel really troll to me, and that's kind of the essence of the game, which is fine. It kind of really differentiates itself from PUBG in that way, where it has like I saw a video of someone using sonic bombs. He just kept hitting this guy and pushed him out into the blue zone. And he died to win.
Oh wow. Well, plus the dance bomb or whatever.
Or the dance bomb, like
you throw a bomb and it makes the person do the dance animation. They're like stunned.
Like I could only imagine. I can only imagine being on the receiving end of that and just being like, "This game sucks."
You just walk away from your keyboard.
Like
I would just walk away from my keyboard at that point.
Right. I don't know. Like some things just make me like, why would I want to play this game?
Yeah.
But it's popular. It's more
huge.
popular than PUBG
really
right now.
Popular,
Yeah. But so we got Ethan in the chat here. He actually says that Doc played a lot of PUBG today.
Yeah.
So maybe he's probably going back and forth.
He's probably just trying to be a little bit more balanced.
Yeah, instead of
everything.
So
yeah, like I think he's just trying to like get around. Not stake everything on his Doc persona in PUBG.
Right. Yeah, it makes sense. But yeah, moving away from that, just want to let you guys know about I'm sure anyone who has been playing PUBG knows maybe that I don't even know. I haven't been playing, so I don't know if the game is in a bad state or if it's just the same and nothing has changed. Because people still complain that the hit markers are off or all this stuff. Like I don't know if it's gotten worse or if people are just getting tired of it.
I think the shotgun hit reg has always been
weird
an issue.
Yeah.
And I don't imagine it's gotten any better. Ethan's saying, well, one thing is you barely get mad in Fortnite because it's so troll, it's enjoyable.
That's spoken like a true. Spoken like Ethan himself.
A true troll.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is that when I first started playing PUBG for the first 100 hours, I never got mad. I never cared. I was like, yeah, this is just
you just die.
You just die. It's a hard game, you lose. And then it got to the point where I was into it and I wanted to do good, and I would get kind of mad. So I don't know. I don't know if it's the same with Fortnite or because I can see people getting really into Fortnite as well.
Yeah. There's all those troll Instagram videos of people their building's been evacuated and they're like, no, I'm gonna get this match. Like they're still inside the building.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting though. Like we said, we may play tonight, so we can report back and see if it's bad or not.
Talk about that next week for sure.
The next thing on the list, we got some Monster Hunter news. Most people probably know the next collaboration event for Monster Hunter is, I think we talked about Street Fighter, and so they've outlined how to unlock this now. Now, currently, they've only announced that you can unlock it if you already have a save file on your PS4,
A Street Fighter save file.
a Street Fighter 5 or Arcade Edition save file. If you do, you have to complete the themed quest for themed tickets, which you then use to create the quote-unquote armor of Ryu. And people are saying that you get 1 to 2 tickets per quest completion, so it may take, up to 7 times.
Oh, wow.
I think when I did the Palico Horizon Zero Dawn set, it took me like 3 or 4. So it's not bad. So we don't know anything further. We don't know when it will be available for everyone. They haven't said anything yet. So keep
do
that
you
in
think
mind.
it'll go to everyone?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
I would hope so.
How much is Street Fighter 5?
I don't know.
It's probably still $60.
Probably. That's the thing. It's like I'm not gonna buy a game just to have a thing in another game.
Maybe if there's a PlayStation Plus deal or something.
Yeah.
But
So I think the event goes until sometime in March. But regardless,
that's good. Yeah. Because
yeah,
it's gonna be a while till I get it.
yeah. Do you want to go over the CS:GO stuff real quick?
Yeah, pretty quick. So a couple months ago, we got new shotgun patterns that you could turn on in private servers. They're now being applied to official matchmaking servers. Each shotgun now has an actual pattern, whereas before the spread was completely random. So that's in Co-op Strike, which is an optional game mode, is getting a few more search functions and in-game functions. And a lot of people are hinting at that we could potentially be seeing it get its own slot in the War Games tab. Whereas previously they had it as part of an operation, like where it's an event for the summer or something, and you could play Co-op Strike, and then it went away. Okay. And then there were still Co-op Strike maps that you could play on community servers. People are thinking it's going to get official servers pretty soon. Nuke Canals had a bunch of major changes. They completely removed Catwalk outside in Nuke, and you can't go on Crane anymore in Nuke. So the A bomb site has changed incredibly. And a bunch of changes to Canals. I don't really play that map much, so I don't know as much about them. But I'm thinking it's because Nuke was the least played map at the Major. They wanted to change some things about it to get people more interested. And probably the same thing with Canals, because nobody plays that map. Then late last week, we got a new CSGO case and community sticker capsule. So it's called the Clutch Case. It features 17 community design weapon finishes and 24 new glove finishes, which I'm liking the new glove finishes. I'm going to have to drop a couple $100 to get
I
some
was going to
gloves.
say, you'd definitely be buying something.
Dude, and one's like, it's like white snake skin. It's like with like gold trim. It's like, ooh, baby. And then in the sticker capsule, there's 8 stickers, and I think the new stickers are like super high quality. They look really good. Probably not even gonna cost that much, so I might grab a couple of those. But yeah. So just some. This was the longest wait in between cases for CS:GO.
Yeah, I remember you mentioned that.
Which was pretty crazy. But I think the case really delivered. They brought in some pretty cool designs.
Yeah.
What's Red Dead Redemption covers?
Red Dead Redemption was it was on Xbox probably first, right?
I think so.
Yeah, and then it eventually came to PlayStation. But it's a really crazy.
Yeah. So what happened was because we kind of talked about it at the beginning of the year. The initial release date was unknown, and then we had talked about the rumor was sometime in the summer. Mm-hmm. And then, so what Connor mentioned is that it was delayed until spring of next year, actually. Okay. And then the latest update is that it now is going to come out on October 26th.
Of this year.
Yep. So they pushed it back, and then they moved it forward.
Okay.
Actually. So kind of confusing reports there, but that is the latest.
I almost would have been happier if it was in the spring, because when am I going to play Red Dead Redemption?
Well, I think it's such a big.
I
think it's such a big game. They don't really care.
Yeah. No, it's gonna sell millions. I mean, day one.
Yeah.
It's such a huge game.
Yeah. Kind of just to move things along here because we have a big discussion. Just for Overwatch, the Lunar New Year 2018 event is coming soon.
No, it's in game now. Yeah.
Okay, it's out now. So that has
don't play that.
Nope.
Play Monster Hunter.
Only Monster Hunter. But no, so there's 50 new seasonal items. Capsule Flag is back. And then a big thing here is players can now change hero skins in Champion Select or Hero Select screen.
Yeah.
Which is huge.
That's so cool.
It's so cool. So now it's like a drop-down menu that you can select your hero skin in the middle of a match, which is amazing. So yeah, good Overwatch stuff, new event.
Yeah.
Which is great. And then for Kingdom Hearts, there was the D23 Expo in Japan, and they had a new trailer, and they showed Monsters Inc. World. And then, I don't know, you kind of know a little bit more.
Yeah, so just some crazy story plots that they revealed. Vanitas is going to make an appearance. I mean, which we were anticipating that Ventus was going to... I don't know what's going to happen if he's, like, going to come out of Sora, because this dude's, like, literally inside Sora. That's why Sora's a Keyblade wielder, and then is he not going to be a Keyblade wielder anymore? Who knows? And Riku says he can't use his Keyblade anymore, and that the other him might need it, and it's like... When did Riku get a nobody? So, I have some lore research to do as well, and I'm a pretty big nerd about it. So,
yeah, you have to be.
Yeah, you really. Cooper was saying to me,
it's way too geek for me.
Cooper was saying it's too Japanese of a game for him to play. So,
wow.
But it's looking like
we
the
watched
story
the trailer in Japanese after.
Well, that's
before I said that.
Yeah.
Like, but no, it's just like the whole
Yeah, the story looks like it's gonna be pretty epic, and the combat looks insane. Just like he turns the Keyblade into yo-yos, and then he's smushing people with yo-yos. Like, it's pretty cool. Yeah. But yeah, not a ton of news other than that. We know some things are gonna happen, and there's gonna be Monsters Inc.
Yep. So okay, moving along. Last bit of news before we go on to the discussion here. There's been rumors that Disney is shopping around the Star Wars video game license after bumpy roads with EA and all the trivial stuff they've been going through with loot boxes and all that good stuff. Ubisoft and Activision's names have popped up, but these are only rumors at this point, so I wouldn't take it for anything, but it is interesting. I am all for it. Mm-hmm. Not a big fan of EA. I could, from Disney's standpoint, I could see them because Battlefront I think has had decent success regardless of all the controversy. But I think with Visceral,
they sold the number of copies they needed to sell.
Yeah, but like with Visceral Studios closing down and not having a game coming out this year, like I think they were hoping to, I think maybe Disney is a little disappointed. Yeah. So I think maybe they're shopping it around, which I think is awesome because. The fact that EA had a exclusive license for 10 years was a little geek anyways.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't know, because EA, I just don't like EA, and I don't think they make okay games in my opinion.
I think too.
Sports, like more sports games.
They make sports games, and then they have EA Dice, which make Battlefield, which is good.
Yeah, but they've made a ton of great games in the past as well. Like I don't play any of the sports games.
Well,
I did play SSX.
That's true.
And Need for Speed.
Yeah, those are both.
Yeah, but EA went downhill when they stopped doing the EA. It's in the game.
Yeah, yeah.
Now it's EA. It's in the money.
It's in the money. Yeah.
So, I mean, Ubisoft and Activision. I mean, Ubisoft especially is a really big name. I mean,
I think too, like Call of Duty had something there when they would go back and forth between studios for different games. Yeah. So, like, each annual release was typically from either Activision or
I don't remember
Infinity Ward.
Okay, yeah.
And so people that liked Modern Warfare and that series as it progressed, people loved that. And then as whatever the other series was, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3. But I don't know what it was before that. Black Ops before that would have been World at War. I think it was World War II based.
Yeah,
so I mean, people really liked the alternating.
Yeah, yeah.
But some people liked one camp or the other, and I think there's something to that.
Right. So like, what EA is just they just didn't do it right. What they should have done from the beginning is really been like, okay, we want to make a multiplayer shooter. It'll be Battlefront, and then we want to make like a story game or like an open RPG game or something. They have two shooters which are okay. They're fun if you like Star Wars. If you don't like Star Wars, you'll probably play it for a little bit and you'll stop because beyond that, it's not that good. And so we still don't have anything else. What they should have done is they should have had a game plan where they have a Battlefront game and then they have a story game or stuff like that.
I think too, like Star Wars is such a huge universe that now that we're seeing these smaller stories come out, like Rogue One, like the Ben Solo movie, a lot of people are against the decisions that are being made in those movies. They get upset that Darth Vader's like a token villain that has to show up all the time, which I get. But I think that I'm not going to mind. I'm not going to like every movie that comes out. But the same way that's happening with Marvel, the universe is going to start to get more niche. Right. And there's going to be weird movies or like weird video games that's like not even related to the Skywalker family.
Well, that's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
Because
those games will be more fun, and they won't have the stigma attached to them.
Right, but back when LucasArts had control and they had all the games they had, sure, not all of them were amazing, but so many of them had a unique story. I mean, take Coder, the best RPG game potentially ever made, or you have Jedi Outcast or Jedi Academy. Those are original classic games, and now you'll never see that because I think partly because of Disney is just they have their thumb pressed on everything, so they can't do anything.
Yeah,
it's not. I don't think it's entirely EA's fault.
It needs to be completely approved, and
yeah, it's just too much. But like, there's so many good Star Wars games in the past, and now it's like we don't even get that cool story looking one that Visceral was on.
Yeah,
making.
that they just like scrapped.
Yeah, so it just sucks.
Yeah,
it sucks.
I don't know.
But regardless, Battlefront 2 had a patch that went live today, Monday. Patch 1.2. It fixed a lot of stuff. They actually added skins, but they're just old skins from the last game.
Salty.
So they're all the Hoth skins, which is good, but like they should have been in the game at release, especially because they're old.
Right.
Like
it's just reused.
Sure, you gotta reuse.
I never even played Battlefront, but that makes sense to me.
It's disheartening because it's like, what is it going to be another couple months before you actually release new skins? And then this is a dead game. 6 months into its release cycle, they're going to release actual skins.
I don't know. There's supposed to be a customization.
It is. Yeah, you're right.
Thing.
Dead game. I like that we were able to go on a Battlefront rant from one news point.
Yeah,
I was going to say we're talking.
This is why we don't talk about Battlefront, because this is what happens every time.
Yeah. Star Wars is too loaded of a subject.
Just the letdown. It's just
so huge.
So
if you've seen it, give him a hug.
Yeah. So if you're new to the show, it's probably because you found us through Monster Hunter, and although we greatly appreciate that, this episode unfortunately isn't all about Monster Hunter. But
unfortunately,
but
it does involve dinos. It does involve big monsters.
It involves killing those monsters too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So that'll kind of transition us into the main discussion. But for those of you who like Monster Hunter, we're not done with it. I'm still playing, obviously. Elias.
I'm going to be putting in a ton of time.
So we'll be covering it in future episodes. Episodes. Don't worry.
We just like to talk about
everything.
A lot of games that we like to talk about. Yeah,
but that's okay.
So if you are into Ark Survival Evolved, buckle up because there is a TLC Pass 1, there's a Phase 2 preview, and then there's the Great Migration 2, and I'll kind of hand it over to Elias a little bit here because he knows a lot more than I do about Ark.
Okay, so Ark Patch 278 has turned out to be a pretty big patch. It's pretty insane, all the things that they've done. So right now, what's been released is a TLC Pass, tender loving care given to these early dinos.
Much needed, way too late.
For 5 of the original dinos. And the Phase 2 preview, we have some new info on 3 dinos that it's going to come in Phase 2. Whatever we talk about for those dinos, those changes are subject to change. So, take it with a grain of salt. So we'll get into the first couple dinos that have changed in this patch, and then we'll go over some of the patch notes, and then we'll finish up with the Phase 2 preview. The thing about the Great Migration is it's real quick. They're shutting down the lower 40% of legacy servers because they say that most of those average 1 player all day. So
let it go, man.
No, it's a good thing, but I think honestly, if when they did the first Great Migration, when they turned a bunch of servers legacy and then they launched the game,
they just shouldn't have done that.
Whatever. They shouldn't have done that because there never should have been duping. But
Right.
It was an alpha game, or early release game.
But we're instantly banning any players who actually sell anything for real life currency.
Yeah.
But not for Duca.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But I think they really should have just gotten rid of Legacy and made everyone start fresh. Because there weren't enough servers at launch. And now there's going to be a ton of servers for official.
Or just
Because these servers are going to be repurposed into official
leave Legacy where it
servers.
was, ban people that are duping.
Yeah.
And now they're banning
Yeah.
people that are making actual money off the game.
I said it was going to be quick. So yeah, they're shutting off the lower 40%
It's a
of
step in the right
legacy
direction.
population.
It's a
And
step in the
there's
right
going to be
direction.
more official servers. Yeah, it's a step in the right direction. All right, so let's get into TLC Pass 1. The first dino up is the Procoptodon.
Much needed.
We had
Like,
a lot of fun. just
Super
running around
super
on it.
unpopular team. Really serves zero
No
purpose.
one, just to put the bunny costume
Really
on it.
serves zero purpose. Yeah,
It was
exactly.
the only reason
Yeah,
you
they
tamed
tamed
one.
like a level 5 just
Yeah.
to put the bunny costume on it, but now it like serves like a huge purpose. Not only is it not any more difficult to tame,
Mm-hmm.
which is cool.
What did they tame with?
I believe the best efficiency you can get is with rare mushroom.
Rare mushroom.
It's
Nice.
not like an exorbitant amount either. It's a solid amount, but it's not a crazy amount.
And are they on aberration or no?
No,
No. Okay.
not yet.
They're just scorched earth.
Not, and I don't think they will be. But no,
They're in Redwood.
scorched on island.
They're on the island.
They're
yeah.
super rare in the island though.
Yeah, they're in the redwoods, right?
No,
Where are they?
like more north.
Oh, okay.
Like at the base of
Close-
most,
close to the snow?
mountains, but they're extremely rare. So
Okay.
to get a high level one is really
It's pretty
really
crazy.
rare.
Unofficial, it'd be crazy.
Unofficial island server.
Yeah.
On Scorch, I think there's a few more, but
I
even
think-
then
I
they're
think-
not.
I always see.
I had a
rabbits
perfect,
on
I had a
the-
perfect
or
tame on
kangaroos.
on the official Scorch that we played on. I had a perfect tame row.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think they're pretty.
But I
they're
mean,
pretty ready.
It was
readily
it
available.
was lame because it didn't really do anything.
Yeah. So okay, let's
But
talk
now
about
it
what it
does.
is. So it
Now it
received,
does. Not only
received
does
a
it-
model update.
Yeah.
It looks pretty good. Animation update looks decent. I think the jump could be a little bit more animated.
Well,
It got
Jumps are tricky, but yeah.
new sounds and a bunch of new abilities. It takes reduced fall damage. Its carry weight will be noticeably increased.
which is great because it's super mobile. Ground transport totally serves that purpose.
Yeah.
Totally.
Like, we haven't gotten a Parasaur update. Hopefully the Parasaur will come in Phase 2 or Phase 3.
I'm almost certain it will
Yeah.
because it's literally useless.
But this is a good step in the right direction. Early, potentially early level ground transport. It can carry small creatures and baby dinos in its pouch, and so not just Procoptodons. It can carry anything.
I believe it still can play still can carry other players, right?
And yeah, it can carry other
It can
players.
Still carry other players, which also now if they're riding in the Crocodile pouch, if it's a female that's mate boosted,
Mhm.
the player will receive like reduced food consumption,
Yep.
water consumption rates.
Yep.
So that's kind of nice.
Yep. It got a knockback kick, so it goes back up on its tail and knocks back.
To knock things away.
And it was knocking back Rex, even.
Slightly.
Slightly. Yeah,
Yeah.
so as the drag weight of the animal increases,
The
I
less
think...
of a knockback you
the less of a
feel,
knockback
but
that
it's
you
still
get.
present.
But it is still knocking back. And on a
Right.
Rex, that's a pretty big creature for
Right,
a
and
kangaroo to be fighting.
obviously the Rue's not a fighter, so
Yeah.
I mean you're just going to use it for transport. Which, going to the next thing,
Mhm.
it has a targeted jump, which can be used by holding the jump key. The exact same mechanic as the Carquinos.
Yep.
The jumps OP.
It's
basically,
you can
it's
jump up sheer cliffs.
It barely takes any
like-
fall damage now.
Yep.
Just like your crab will take fall damage, but it's like literally 10 health.
Mm-hmm.
This has the same exact mechanic on the Rue, which is super cool because it also gives it something that separates it from anything else.
Yeah.
So it serves like a huge purpose now, and I think that's really cool.
And the last little thing, the babies imprinted while in a carry Procoptodon pouch receive more affinity.
Which I think is the most OP thing about this.
It's probably these are
It's
going
going to be the number one
these
reason
are
that
now
they're
a
tamed.
breeder's best
Yeah.
friend.
It's going to be the number one reason they're tamed is for this breeding.
It's
boost.
for that and
Yeah.
being able to sit in and have reduced food consumption.
Yep.
Now
Because,
you don't
like,
need to just sit in a chair. You'll just sit in a spare
You can
kangaroo,
stick the baby in the pouch, and
and you get in a
Yeah.
pouch because you want to go AFK. Cause there's
Sure.
a reason. There's a reason you want them spawned in when you're breeding. I forget exactly what it is. It's been a while. People sit AFK while breeding. That's what I know.
okay. Because they need so much food, probably. And
Probably,
and
yeah.
now that's not a
Yeah.
huge issue. So
Okay.
yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, the Procoptodon looks sick.
Love the Roo update.
Alright, so the Gigantopithecus, or Bigfoot, received a model update, animation update, new fur, new sounds, and some new abilities. The Bigfoot will receive an armor degrading attack. This means when it fights, it'll do more damage to your armor's durability. Which I'm guessing will I'm guessing it'll affect saddles. No, saddles don't have durability.
It'll attack the saddle harder than it will the health. It will break the saddle sooner.
Do saddles break?
I don't know.
I don't think saddles break.
Well, if it's attacking another person, it'll break the armor sooner.
It'll break a person's armor
Because
sooner.
it attacks the armor over
Yeah.
attacking the...
Yeah. It's important to note that the armor degrading attack will not affect the Yeti creatures found in the game. So, for some reason, some way that it's coded, you can't use this attack on other Bigfoots. And I don't know if they're specifically saying Yeti, so Bigfoot's found in the snow. It seems like a weird coding issue that they're masking as a feature.
Traverse zip lines.
Yep.
Super OP.
They can climb zip lines, but not jump in between them.
They also
Which
got
is
added
still,
to
it's still
Aberration,
OP.
which they'd have to
Yeah,
be
we're gonna
to,
talk
for
about that
this to
later.
mean anything.
The dire bear, well, you can use zip lines on any map. You just have to go to Aberration to learn them.
Yeah, but I mean, come on.
They're it's most useful on.
Added a jump, which I think is the most OP thing you can do to any tame. Because
It was honestly, we were jumping around because you can
Super-
ride on the
it's
Bigfoot.
like-
We were
it
jumping
gives
around,
you,
it's
like-
so much mobility. Like you could dodge so many attacks in a close quarters fight.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it's not slow.
No,
It's not slow.
its swim was even decent
Yeah.
speed. Like
Yeah.
we went to like in the ocean.
This is,
swimming
it's
around.
now a very desirable mount, just like the Roo. Like
Yeah,
these
all-
updates are super awesome,
All
and super
these
needed.
creatures really
Because
have
before
purpose now.
there was zero purpose in taming this.
Yep.
Because it took Titanable
All I
kibble.
can imagine is just an army of Bigfoot
Mhm.
coming at you.
Mhm.
That sounds fun.
Well, in addition to that, so it can now carry and throw small creatures.
That's awesome.
It's so imagine carrying a
You used
bunch.
to be able to throw the rider only, I believe.
Imagine carrying a bunch of Trudons in
Just
a pack
throw
of
'em over
Bigfoot.
the wall,
Throw
yeah.
a bunch into the wall, and everybody gets knocked out. You walk into their base,
Yeah, because they only have 100
and
turrets.
it can also have in addition to you can ride it. It can have a shoulder mount. So like any of the light pets in Aberration to avoid getting attacked by Nameless, or it could have a small monkey riding it that pick locks. It could have parachute. It could have a parachute.
That's true. I wonder how that works.
Well, I don't think
The
it could have a
Arca is like a
parachute. it would
weird-
have an Arca. Yeah.
The arc is like a weird
I hate the animation.
thing.
They need
It's
that
a weird
needs
thing.
a Dino TLC pass.
It's like, is it
The
a shoulder
animation.
mount or is it? What are you
It's
doing?
a this mount. When you have
I
an
don't get
Arca
it.
on your shoulder, this is how you walk around.
So I
the
wonder.
game.
I wonder how that. I wonder how that works with.
Yeah, we should
Does
see.
it? Yeah.
We should spawn
Does
in
it
an
do
Arca.
this?
Does it do that the whole time? Yeah, probably.
All right. Bear was one we played a lot with last night. That
Yep.
was really fun.
Yep.
Looks amazing.
Yeah, the
It looks
bear actually looks
so
good.
good.
It got a model update,
Looks so good.
animation update, new fur. I think that's the key. Is the new
Mhm.
fur on all these animals actually looks good. It doesn't look like some weird pasted texture.
No, it looks really good. All these updates, they all look really good, and
Yeah.
they look terrible before.
Yeah, and so the bear is still as bears were actually OP.
They were
even
actually OP.
before.
Because the bear and the Gigantopithecus are the only two creatures that harvest fiber with their
Mhm.
basic attack.
Does
So you needed one or the other.
There's-
and the bear is obviously better. It was easier to tame.
does Therizin or just Thatch?
Therizins do gather fiber too.
But it's like more passive. It gets.
But I mean,
Thatch
as far
first.
as taming difficulty, Therizins by far the most difficult.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Very
But the dire bear was like the obvious choice. If you
Mhm.
needed something for fiber, you could do that. But dire bears are always pretty cool. Now they're awesome because now they're the only tame that actually gets you honey.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So
Like
now
you don't have to do that ridiculous bee tame. You don't have to do
taming before
the ridiculous-
taming a queen bee was insane
It's A's.
because
now you don't
it
have to
would
do it.
keep spawning drones.
Now you don't have to do it.
And the drones would be attacked. And
Don't even
bees
have to
are
do
OP
Yep.
in this game.
Because they would knock you off any mount. Now they do not knock you off the dire bear.
Yep. So
You're OP.
when
You're
riding
immune
a
to bees.
dire bear, players will be immune to bees.
Mhm.
They won't be able to knock you off your bear, and they will target focus the bear instead of the player, which the bear's
Right.
super tanky anyway. So it's
And
fine.
they get just like An angler will get more pearls from a node versus a person, just doing the pickup animation.
Yep.
The bear will get 3 times more of the honey from a beehive.
And it's able
than
to
a player
harvest.
will.
It's able to harvest honey from wild beehives without attracting bees. Because typically, if a player walks up and grabs some honey out of
They start getting attacked.
you get attacked. You die. You will die.
Not necessarily, but it's way easier now.
Yeah, the dire bear just walks up and takes the honey.
It's much more of a reason to tame this animal, which is what they're doing to all of these, and I think that's really cool.
15 honey from one harvest, and that was it was a fresh server, so everything's pretty low rates at the beginning.
I don't know, because a human only gathers 5, so the bear gathers 15.
Oh, is that just a standard?
Makes perfect sense.
Oh, okay, okay.
A human only gathers 5.
All right.
Yeah.
And it got increased swim speed. Yeah.
And the swim speed animation is really good looking.
Yeah, the animation for swimming looks really good.
Like,
on the
just
bear.
picture bear swimming. That's exactly what it looks like. Yeah. Whereas before it was, like, retarded. But anyway.
Alright, so the next up is the dire wolf. This is probably my favorite out of the whole bunch. Received a model update, animation update, new fur, and some new abilities.
Looks sick.
Yes, it does. It actually, like, its fur on its legs is shorter than its fur on the back now, and so it, like, looks like it's a dog. Like
it's
a
just
wolf,
the animation. It looks exactly like you would imagine it to look.
It has a howl. It now activates a pack buff for 90 seconds with a 1.5 minute or 90 seconds cooldown.
So you can just constantly spam it.
Just spam it once it's done. When the alpha howls, because dire wolves are one of the creatures like hyenas and Uteranus, Allosaurus get an alpha buff on the highest level 1 if you're traveling in a group. Right. So it makes sense to tame a pack of dire wolves.
They're only good if you tame them in a pack, really.
Yeah. So when the alpha howls, the pack also howls. The pack buff strengthens the alpha as well as its pack, but it's reduced amount versus the alpha.
Which is already getting a buff anyway, so it's still going to be your most powerful.
It's just like a big stack. Yeah. Like when you're all howling.
Yeah.
The Hunter's Instinct passive buff, which will allow it to sniff out people, creatures with less than 50% health.
Ooh, we're talking about Warwick now.
Yeah, exactly. So, the right click on a wolf now, or no, it was C. The C on a wolf now, C move, is a sniff. So he like stops and he starts sniffing.
And you'll see an icon through any
through the world. We saw Broodmother, like we saw a boss for some reason was damaged. We saw something under the ground. Yeah, it could have been a glitch.
Most definitely was.
Yeah.
On a server that
I just started, yeah.
But yeah, you'll be able to see things that are low health. You'll be able to see explore notes through the world. So, like, you'll just see an icon, you just head towards it, you'll get there. That's really cool.
Yeah, explore
and
notes.
also buried stealth creatures. So, like, Perlovias, enemy Perlovias, enemy tamed Perlovias, enemy tribes Perlovias. You'll be able to see them underground. Whereas prior to this, there was no way to see them. Granted, they weren't really that popular anyway.
I wonder if
but it's nice to know that there's
Thylas would you get an icon for Thylas in trees?
No, because they're visible.
Yeah, but it's the same mechanic as a Perlovia.
No, Perlovias are completely invisible.
Yeah, because they're in the ground, but they like stealth. I don't know. I'm just wondering. We didn't test it. I want to test it.
I don't think so.
Probably not.
Definitely not.
But I think it'd be pretty cool. Because they are sort of hiding. But yeah, so I think the Explorer Notes is probably one of the most useful things.
Yeah.
Like if you had a bunch of people with a alpha buff on a 2x weekend, you could just cruise in Dino. Yeah. You could get. I've gotten on a 3x weekend. I got to level 60 in an hour, just doing Explorer Notes.
Yeah.
So I think that'd be pretty cool. Okay, so last but not least is the T-Rex.
Definitely not least, because this by far visually is probably the best one. And
you think so?
I didn't even think the Rex needed a visual update.
It didn't need an update.
It already looked good in game. They made sure of that before they released the game. Obviously, T-Rex is the most popular dinosaur that ever existed, and they made it look good first coming out the game. But like now, I think it looks amazing. It looks super cool. They gave it a couple other things. Not only is it still like as OP as it ever was, but now it's roar instead of just being like a cool thing you could do that served no purpose. Now it makes everything, I believe, any non-ally, so any tamed dino or player, it makes them poop.
Yeah.
But the poop also acts as a stun interrupt.
Yeah, so they actually
Um,
refer to it multiple times in their documentation as poop stunning people.
Yeah, poop stunning. But there is a cooldown, so you can't be permanently poop stunned continuously.
Yep.
Because let's face it,
Yeah, that's good.
it's impossible.
No, they say so they cannot be poop locked continuously.
Poop locked, excuse me. Not poop stunned, poop locked.
Yeah.
You don't want to be poop locked. Ever. But it just adds a nice, like, again, so it serves a purpose. It serves a purpose. And they updated some of its, like, walking mechanics so that, it like, small rocks aren't stupid anymore and stuff like that. So, like, just some good movements in the right direction, totally. It's nice to see something that wasn't... Like, I think of all the ones that they released, the Rex definitely served a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
In the Kibble Tree, it served a huge purpose.
Yeah.
Because it came at the right time for, like, a mid-level tribe to get, like, a really powerful team.
Rexes are still super powerful. You use them on bosses.
Right, they're great for bosses. So it's like, Rex, they already have a solid presence in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Official, unofficial, whatever. And, so they didn't really necessarily need an update like some of the other ones did.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, Direwolf, well, you have Thyla, you have Sabretooth, you have a lot of other options, but now it's just something pertinent. Whereas the Rex, I didn't really feel needed that as much.
Mm-hmm.
But seeing what they did with it, I'm so glad that they did it.
Yeah.
Because it looks freaking sexy.
I think it also, like, it closes the gap a little bit between Rexes and Gigas.
Well, there should be a gap there.
There should be a gap because they're so
There
hard to
should
attain,
definitely be a huge gap there.
But I think it's nice. I'm sort of sometimes happy when nobody has Gigas.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not happy when I don't have Gigas.
Yeah. Yeah, you want Gigas. Okay.
So yeah, it was just really nice that they threw the Rex in there as well because the Rex already had such a solid place in Arc, and now it's like they're just like, you know what, we'll just do this to make everyone happy. So that was really nice.
Yeah.
Although I would have liked to see the Parasaur first. Personal feelings. Spencer knows. I like Parasaurs.
Parasaurs are great. They're useless. Okay, so that's the Dino TLC Pass Phase 1. Those are the dinos that have been changed. Now we're going to get into the actual patch changes. Just really a couple. There's a lot of changes.
There's a lot.
A ton of changes.
I don't think we're going to be talking about all of this. The big one is obviously the turret limit.
So on the 10th of February, turrets were hard limited to 100. This is something they've been talking about for months that they were going to do. This is per tribe.
Very protested.
And in a certain radius. So existing setups with over 100 turrets will still function as normal until yesterday. And then when they enabled the hard limit, they will retroactively disable turrets that were over the 100 limit from functioning. So basically, if you had more than 100 turrets in a certain radius, they don't work anymore. None of the turrets work in that radius. They didn't just shut off.
Yes, you have to think hard about where you want your turrets.
And the annoying way about why this works or how this works is that if you had 101 turrets, you now have to remove all of them and replace the 100.
That's stupid.
To get them turned back on. It's
a
very
little stupid.
Yeah.
I do not feel I understand the complete thought process behind this.
That's another coding issue that they're masking as a feature.
Okay. So, well, there you go. But I know it has to do with server performance, which I think is really lame because I don't think you should put game experience.
You shouldn't be
below performance.
You shouldn't be using game balance to make your servers run better.
Right. Those are two completely separate.
That sounds like PUBG.
Those are two completely separate things. Like you shouldn't.
Yeah.
Like if your game's not working right, you need to focus on that, as well as game balance.
Yeah.
Right. But those should not be interrelated.
They have made some changes to some dinos we're going to talk about a little later that makes this change a little bit more palatable, but I don't think it's enough. 100 turrets is not enough. We as like a small beta tribe had 100 turrets.
I mean,
it's not just 100 turrets. 100 turrets, mega turrets, or plant turrets.
Right. So you got to pick. You have to be strategic about it. And you have to pick. I mean, so it's like it's across the board. So it's like whatever.
Or
it goes with any tribe, no matter how OP they are. So they are capping everyone.
It also,
which is interesting.
it also leads up to mega tribes are just going to take up more space on the island. They're just going to build out foundations and put turret towers, 100 units from each other or whatever, so that they can still use all those turrets that they've made.
Who knows? But they're gonna find a way to be the most OP.
Yeah,
Obviously.
which is, that's how it works. That's the game. But I think it's a little crazy. And
So-
some anecdotal evidence from friends said that the servers were running even worse after the change yesterday.
Yeah, which I found was really interesting, but I'm sure that's gonna iron itself out.
Yeah.
But anyway, to go along with that, at the same time as this, they're nerfing Brontos, they're nerfing Preracers.
Yep.
So that's
HP
that's to
HP
be
gain
sad.
per level and base HP.
That's to be said because
both
Brontos
those.
are *1 turret soakers,
Next to Stegos.
which
Honestly.
also got a 30% nerf.
Yeah, Stego plate resistance was reduced to 30%.
Interestingly, they also immediately attacked underwater turret soakers because I didn't even know donkeys were used for that, but they got nerfed as well.
Yep.
So if you want the actual numbers, you can probably look them up, but that's basically it.
Yeah, we'll have the link to the patch notes in the show description.
There you go.
For the podcast.
One really cool thing, I think they actually added rock golem saddles to the Scorched Earth loot table. I don't know. Just wanted to mention that. Thought it was pretty cool.
I would like to see more rock golem because those things are OP.
And then
They
Basilisk.
can soak turrets if they want to.
I don't know how good they are. At
High
soaking
level,
turrets. We'll have to look
with
into
a
that.
high level saddle, they're okay at it. They're not amazing, but
And
they're
so,
okay.
also, in addition to that, Basilisk and Crab saddles added to Aberration loot table.
That's gonna
which
be
is
sick.
cool.
And
Yeah.
a basilisk with an OP saddle.
Yep.
It's gonna be insane.
Yep, that's cool.
And one other little change in this section that I thought was interesting was that uploaded creatures, so creatures that you have in your arc data, now display movement speed and melee damage. So typically, I know a lot of times for us, when I'm picking out a dino to take with me, I know I want the one with the higher melee damage or the higher movement speed for the specific mission. So now you'll visually see that in your arc data.
Mhm.
So it'll be a little easier to pick which one it is and not have to remember, oh, it's whatever the stupid names we come up with. Like, which one is it? Like,
More
is
like
it Posh,
great
is it
names.
Posh Spice
More like great
5 or...
names. Posh Spice 5. So, skittish stats added to Tame Dinos. It's about time.
Yeah.
Because that should have been something from day one.
What's the number one dino you would put that on?
Ichthyosaurus. Your first
Yeah.
water tame, you don't want to build a base.
Yes.
They
yes.
get away really fast.
Yeah. It's gonna be hard
Perfect.
to find. It's gonna be hard to find it ever. But
Right. Whatever. It's not
Yeah,
dead.
As long as it lived.
It's
yeah.
not dead. Pteranodon.
Yep.
You know how they freak out?
Yeah. Yeah.
Put
well.
them on skittish. They get away, they'll live.
Yeah,
You
but
know?
they just get stuck in the sky. They literally fly up forever. Remember?
But they're not dead.
When we did.
They're not dead. That's the point of this.
Yeah.
Your things aren't gonna die.
It's very useful.
They can get away. They can get away fast. You can decide which ones are gonna run, which ones are gonna fight.
Yeah.
So I really,
Ovis.
really, really like that.
Ovis and
Ovis should definitely run.
Avaraptor.
Avaraptor should definitely. Well, 100% of the time it's encumbered,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I can't run. But yeah.
yeah.
Quetzal being skittish is really cool. Something that tanky.
That's a
Do
cool
you want
idea,
to chase it or do you want to continue your raid?
Mm.
Quetzal's running. Do you want to kill it?
No, leave it.
What if it gets away? What if you still have it? That's a huge boost if you got raided and it's relaunching and you find your Quetzal.
And your Quetzal is still
you
alive
find it
somewhere.
somewhere in the bushes.
You can start farming
you're
metal
like
that
exactly
day.
like that's great. So I definitely feel like this is way too late. I feel like it's a huge thing, just passively noted
You know
in
what's
these patch
funny
notes,
is
but it's
I've
awesome.
seen a lot of these changes. They've been talking about it for months, and they really waited till this patch to enable a lot of them.
Okay.
I think they were just saving up for a big change. I don't know
Okay.
why.
Well, this is definitely a big one.
Yeah. Like we said, they added the Dire Bear and Gigantopithecus to Aberration.
That's another thing that's really weird and cool.
Yeah.
At the same time, I think it's weird. Why didn't you put them in there when you launched Aberration? I don't know.
I don't know either.
But
Maybe they just didn't have the models ready.
well, they didn't have
Plus-
to do the new one.
That's the thing is they probably didn't.
They could've just
They probably
thrown 'em in
didn't want to make an old model because they knew they were changing them.
I don't. Oh, aberrant.
Don't make an aberrant
Dire
model when they're just going to change the model anyway.
Whatever.
That's probably what it was.
Whatever. Not that I did. I don't. I'm not saying they should have postponed the Aberration release date any later.
Yeah. They reduced the Titanosaur walk speed by 5% and run speed by 20%, so they're even slower.
One really cool. I like this for creatures with targeted jumps, which
Mhm.
which obviously you're gonna think Carcinos first. Now includes Procoptodon.
Yep.
Pressing jump again in mid-air will result in the team falling straight down. So stop your like freaking OP jump that you just accidentally released the spacebar for, and you're about to go flying like a million feet off of a cliff. You'll just shoot straight down. You know, hey, I made a mistake. You're forgiving me.
Yeah.
Thank you, art gods, for your forgiveness.
I wish we could get.
You're
this.
not dead.
I wish we could get this on frogs, because frogs take way too much fall damage.
They do take way too much fall damage.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens to them later. But yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's basically it. That's all the good stuff.
Yeah. Well, they reduced the respawn rate of Basilisk, so there's going to be less on Aberration, which is pretty crazy. Because I didn't think there were too many anyway.
I see you underlining this one about skins hairstyles, but we never got to the bottom of that, did we?
Yeah, it says Arc will now scan your Steam achievements and update your local profile accordingly to restore any lost skins hairstyles, but I didn't experience that yesterday. Maybe they just have to turn it on, or maybe I need to reinstall again. I don't know.
Again.
I've reinstalled that game over 20 times, at least.
Tradlock now displays when people have been kicked, promoted, demoted, claimed, unclaimed, uploaded, and downloaded a new creature, which is good, because I want to remember when I demote Matt, you know?
Yes.
I want to remember that.
If you can ever get owner. We'll receive there's a new me marker on the minimap, which I'm super psyched about, because it was like this little
stupid.
It was this little wooden like
what part of that thing is actually me?
Yeah,
and it takes up like a huge chunk of the map. It's like, where actually
there'd be like a little pin, and then it would say me over here, and you're like, am I at the pin?
So
or am I at the me? It was very
so
bad.
So that's good. That's good.
And it's so also they said large underwater rock features on the island can now be built on.
We don't necessarily know what that means, but it makes sense.
I'm thinking what would be cool is what is it? East of Carno Island, there's a couple of giant rocks with a lot of dangerous stuff near it, but I think it'd be a pretty cool place to build an underwater base, like just underwater, like just shallow. A lot of people put breeding pens over there for water stuff. I think that'd be a pretty cool area to investigate.
Tribes can now see the demo timers of their own structures. That's pretty helpful.
That's very helpful, especially I built like a whole wall of pillars and forgot that they demo in 12 hours now. If they're
this whole fence was gone around our base, like not even
if they're not attached to a foundation,
stupid.
It's gonna be a little helpful when building things.
All right, phase 2.
Wait, real quick, just as a reminder, there's a ton of patch notes that we're not reading. Like,
well, we got
check the description.
Pretty good.
Yeah,
we did pretty good.
Okay, so Dino TLC passed phase 2. These are upcoming changes, and these are subject to change.
Argentavis, one of my favorite teams ever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm super pumped about this because
the
the preview looks so sexy. It actually looks like a scavenging bird now, instead of just like a freak feathered thing,
like a weird eagle.
Yeah, exactly.
It looked like a giant eagle before. There was even like an American eagle.
Now
skin
it
or
looks
something.
like a scavenging bird.
Yeah.
It looks so good.
Yep.
Super, super, super excited about this.
Because they are doing attract like towards corpses. So
A plus
like
on all like
scavenging.
the physical aspects of this, and then this one like awesome, awesome. Because it's a great team, one of my favorite teams, and I'm super, super excited about it. It looks really, really, really good.
Yeah.
Now it's even going to get updated saddle stuff. It's going to have a Smitty saddle, like the
Beaver?
Castoroides.
Yeah, Castoroides.
Which is so cool.
Yes.
Because what do you take on adventures? Not your stupid beaver.
Yeah.
You take your Argentavis, and now you can fix all your stuff on the saddle.
You can't take beavers. You can take beavers in caves. That's the use for that.
Who does that? That's true.
It doesn't even matter because you can get pliers now.
That's true. But, I mean, very, very cool.
Yeah.
Super cool. It gets weight reductions on things like obsidian is the only confirmed one. So far, again, all subject to change. It says various other materials, which is great because you take me first Argentavis, what do you need? You need a little bit of polymer, which means you need a lot of obsidian.
Yeah.
So to be able to get a weight reduction on that, to be able to fly anywhere on the map now.
Yeah, unless you want to fly all the way to the north, which is dangerous because you don't know how many bases you're going to come across, whether or not you need to land mid tundra and just die to a Uranus. Like, it's so much more useful to just be able to fly over to Frozen Fang.
No, that's where you go. Elias.
That's where you go.
That's where you go. You don't go anywhere else.
Yeah.
So
no, because you could go kill penguins.
This is awesome. Oh, well, true. Well, this is awesome
Yeah.
So that's super cool. It can carry more than one thing. Like,
It can
where do
carry
they
one-
stop with this? They're like,
The Argent tables will now be able to carry 2 additional passengers.
yeah, it can
so it's
carry.
going to be a 3-seater.
It can carry one size in its
Who
beak.
needs Tapaharas anymore?
It can carry a smaller size in its beak. It can carry its normal larger size in its talons,
Mhm.
as well as being able to carry,
Oh, snap.
as well as being able to saddle a rider. Does it?
Oh, okay.
Can you saddle 2 people? No.
What I would...
No, I don't think so.
No, you can't saddle 2 people. You get... What you do is...
2
you-
additional passengers, one in
one
speak, one in
person
saddle.
saddle, one
Yeah.
person claws, one person speak.
Okay.
What I would like to know is whether the person in the beak can shoot without damaging the dino.
Well, we have yet to see if a human can be carried in the beak.
True.
We have yet to
True,
see
yeah,
that.
yeah.
It's not confirmed. When it consumes a corpse, it receives a rapid health regeneration, making this vulture a, quote, formidable aerial tank.
Mm.
Which I'm guessing the regen is going to be OP if you're
I'd
calling it a tank.
I'd like to see what farming Quetzals would be like with this.
The RG now? Well,
Yeah.
We'll see.
Typically, we take pteranodons because they're faster, but
But yeah,
I'd
this
like
is
to see that.
this is by far my favorite update because I've always loved taming Argents, and now they're super cool, looking and acting and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm super pumped for that.
All right. Next up, we have the Spino, and these 2 were announced a little while ago. We also got the Sarco with patch 278.
Mhm.
But the Spino, a lot of people have been talking about that the Spino should be a bipedal animal, like the Rex, but
Well,
it's
I've-
always been a quadruped.
Well, I have a lot to say about that because obviously Spino using Jurassic Park 3.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It walked on 2 legs in that movie.
Right.
So
It
that's
just
what
had
everyone
longer
thought.
arms.
Right.
Mm.
And let's face it, this game has stole so many things from Jurassic Park, like Dilophosaur, because
Yeah.
nowhere in science is it confirmed
No,
that they even spit
Dilophosaur's not
poison.
real. Yeah.
But they stole that from Jurassic
Yeah,
Park.
Park.
Definitely.
It's an
And
iconic dino.
but what I
yeah.
like that they're like, hey, we're gonna do the quadruped Spino
Yeah. It was different.
for our game because it's not confirmed by science, and everyone's obsessed with Jurassic Park, and we already stole Dilophosaur. So let's do
Yeah.
the quadruped Spino because it separated it from the Rex a little more.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really cool. Now they're saying, hey, we feel you people that like Jurassic Park 3 a lot, even though it was the lamest of all the movies, and we'll give you both. So that's
so
cool.
now the Spinosaur will be able to operate in both a bipedal and quadruped stance.
Mhm.
When on 2 legs, the Spino will move slower, but be able to bite and use its claws to do
That's
increased
kinda cool.
damage.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
kinda, I like
it's
that.
more of like
Yeah.
a fighting stance.
Yeah.
Gives you options, kind of like the Iguanodon, but for more OP purposes.
Yep.
Definitely cool.
They
When
got-
I said to myself, they're updating the Spino, they need to solidify its affinity to water.
Yeah. Yeah.
Before even reading these, that's what I thought. That's exactly what they did. And I was so happy about that because you already have a Rex. On land, a Rex can kill anything.
Yeah.
But now they're like, and a Spino was okay in water,
It was okay in
but
water.
it would
wasn't-
lose to Sarco every time
Yeah.
because the turning radius
Yep.
sucked. And now they
Sarcos are
totally
OP, and actually they're getting even more OP.
totally fixed that. So they get a buff that includes move speed, turning radius, attack damage, health regen when in the water. Period.
Yeah.
So
And-
that's sick.
And it will last for some time after exiting the water.
So
which
if you're
is sick.
near water,
if
you're
you're
OP.
by a river, you're golden.
Think Namor, King of Atlantis from Marvel Comics.
And it has an increased chance of gathering prime fish meat. Did you say that?
It's the only tame that came now. Well, again, this
Not
is
the
all
only tame.
subject to change. Nothing currently, no tame currently in the game harvests prime fish meat besides the Moss
Increased.
shops.
Increased prime fish meat.
No, nothing even harvests it at all.
Really?
Yes, besides the Moss shops.
Moss shops. And
Which Moss shops have their own gather
No, you can
mechanic.
get it. You can get it from fishing. You can get it with a scythe or a sickle.
Okay, but that's
can
not a
get it-
tame.
That's not a
gathers it.
tame. It's not a tame.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
okay.
So like so now it's gonna be able to gather prime fish meat. Which come on, that makes sense.
Yeah, but at the same
Again,
time, if
this is something late to the punch. I
if you
think.
can find a what are the giant whales? Why can't I think of the name? Of the giant they wreck rafts.
Silsosaur? No, Lead Sickness.
Lead sickness. If you can find a lead sickness, that's 50 prime meat right there, instantly.
Who does that?
I do. Because I'm always on a raft. And they find me.
You're always dying to them on a raft.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's really, really, really cool. So again, do I want to tame a Rex? Do I want to tame a Spino? Well, now I'm not just gonna tame a Rex because it's more OP. I'm going to tame a Rex for this. I'm going to tame a Spino for that.
You need a Rex for the kibble tree.
So good.
But
good.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to tame some Spinos.
All of this is so good. Because
Right.
they now serve specific purposes, and that's what I like.
Okay, so the Sarco received some pretty big changes. Obviously, these are subject to change. But it got a grab and roll attack, also known as a death roll. With smaller creatures, the Sarco will be able to grab and roll with them in its mouth, while with larger creatures, it will grab on and spin aggressively.
So I'm not really sure what that means. I'll have to see it.
I don't know what the spinning aggressively means.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming like something small, like obviously a dodo, or probably I would think a dillo as well.
A human. Yeah.
A human. It'll be able to. Sounds like it's going to be able to roll like a dodic while doing damage to you.
Well, I would think sideways before forwards.
Oh, you're thinking so? Could be. Could be. I was thinking like doing donut or like rolling like a wheel.
Yeah. But because they're so weird, like they're so long,
Yeah.
they now have a 180-degree attack, which I think is sick.
Yes. But
It
yeah,
can
it's gonna
attack
swing
straight
around its
behind
body.
itself while
Yeah.
swinging around. Like, that's sick. And it can lunge forward to take its prey by surprise. So that's 3 more attacks that it's getting.
I wonder how that 180-degree attack would work if you're being grabbed by a Tuso. You're probably still too far away to do damage.
You are facing them while grabbed, and you can't reach them.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I think you're still frick there.
Yeah.
But let's face it, if you're swimming that deep with a Sarco in the water, you should know that you might die.
But we've used them a lot underwater.
Yeah.
They're great
And
mounts.
they've still almost killed us, the squids. The wild
I think
squids.
we did kill a squid with 2.
No, we were on Megalodons.
Were we close?
Yeah. And there was 2 of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you'll no longer get aggroed by piranhas while riding a Sarco, which makes perfect sense and is also really sick to be able to count on. And it's going to prefer fish meat while taming now, which again makes more sense.
Yep.
Gives more purpose to fish meat because right now it's basically useless.
It's useless.
Hopefully they change the taming affinity for that because it's so useless
needs to
right
do
now.
more. It needs to.
It's so useless
tame more
right
effectively.
now. Yeah.
I also think this is something that I'm campaigning for, and if anybody we gotta talk about it. I want you to be able to eat raw fish meat. I don't understand why
that
it's
was
not
my
possible.
idea. I told you, and you're like running with it. You're like, this needs to happen.
Like, even if they made it that like you need to like process the raw fish meat in some way, like add some berries to it or something.
They just need to do something to
like
buff it.
if you add stem berries, maybe that you add stem berries. I was thinking lemon, but that's too much work. It's too much work. A level 1 character needs to stay alive on raw fish meat. That's what it needs to be.
I think so.
And so if you could,
just make it edible.
I think if you mortar pestle, raw fish meat, stem berries, make sushi. That's what I think it should be. I think it should be an easy thing, and you could just make a ton of it. Yeah, it rots.
Because
but
even once you cook it, it's still so worthless.
put a 15-minute timer on sushi, so it's not as good as cooked meat, but it's pretty good. I want to be able to eat raw fish meat in Ark. I don't know why that matters to me.
It just needs a serious buff. Whatever you guys decide to do with
It's
it,
just
it just
stupid
needs a buff.
that you made something so useless.
Because it's so useless. Yeah. and prime fish meat is also useless.
Yeah.
But now that the Spino can gather it, it's not as useless because it was so hard to get before for still being so useless.
It was okay for baryonyx.
That's the only reason you ever get it.
Yeah, it was for baryonyx.
Right.
Yeah.
But then just get their kibble.
Yeah.
Like, you know? So, anyway.
Alright.
That's it for Ark.
That's it.
That's it for Ark. That's for a lot of Ark changes.
A lot of Ark changes. Yeah, so keep in mind, guys, if you want to read the full patch notes, there's a lot of stuff. We'll link that in the show description for you guys, along with some timestamps so you can find what part of the show you want to look for, which is awesome. So we'll kind of wrap up the show then. Anything else?
Spencer's commenting. I'm probably way late on seeing it, but
A
little bit.
saying about the frogs. Yeah, I do love frogs.
But yeah,
You and
they
Matt
take too
know
much-
from our official
yeah, they
server,
take too
like,
much fall damage.
I tame so much stupid frogs, but they take way too much fall damage. It's not accurate now, Spencer, compared to some of the other things that have received buffs. But hopefully one day they'll address that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but all right, that wraps up our show for this week, guys. Thanks for showing up and for listening. If we're talking in your vehicle right now, then we want to say thank you. So if you want to watch us live, you can do so on Twitch at 8 p.m. on Mondays. You can also find us personally on Twitter well, not personally, but the show on Twitter, YouTube, and then the podcast is on iTunes, Google Play, anywhere you find podcasts. So to go along with that, if you want to leave us a review on iTunes, that will greatly help us out, and we would appreciate that. If you live in the U.S., you can write us a review, and we can actually read it. And we'll read it on the show. We'll give you a shout-out. If you live outside the country, a review is still helpful. It still shows up as the stars. So thank you. And then we also have a Patreon account at patreon.com/Respawn Mondays. If you want to throw us a tip, buy us a beer, or just be a world boss, you can do so for our Discord channel. And we would greatly appreciate that. But regardless, with all that said, you can follow me personally on Twitter at NikkiGirl7 if you want to. Where can people find you, Elias?
Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. Also Instagram now. At Tolmaeth. TOLMAEITH. I stream most days of the week. Gonna be a lot of Monster Hunter right now. Probably some CS:GO too, because I want to get past gold. I think I'm gonna try to get to MG1, which is gonna be like weeks of work.
Nice.
But yeah, so
Awesome.
that's where.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, we want to thank Cooper for coming on the show as our special guest this week, talking about Ark. He knows a lot about that game.
Mm-hmm.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
Yep.
So thank
Very
you.
opinionated. So
No, yeah.
I need an outlet.
But that's it this week, guys. Thanks for listening in. We'll catch you next time. I've been Nick Berry.
I'm Elias Christensen.
And thanks for respawning with us.
We'll see you next week.
My foot.
No.